I have a band together. It's always been important for me to be part of a band. I don't like the whole like solo artist thing. I always, as a kid, I was infatuated with bands that all had their own character, and just kind of you fell in love with each person, just like Guns N' Roses. Anthrax even has that quality, they're all like, I always felt like if you could draw the character, the people in a band, that's if you can identify them by like the hat Slash always wears, the flannel around Axl's waist, like these are
Hmm.
important things. And I love that dynamic. And I just always love the idea of a band. So I don't want to be, Carla Harvey project. I want to be the Violent Hour, a real band.
I love that. Yeah, yeah, same. I use that as one of the reasons why I do a podcast about Guns N' Roses, not because they're my favorite band, but just like if you can tell the silhouette
Yeah.
of Slash, the silhouette of Scott Ian, you just
Yeah.
know these are identifiable characters. And yes,
Yeah.
I love that because that's what makes a band, and that's what makes you fall in love with the band.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, the band that's a lot all the posters behind me and whatnot. It was cool to be able to watch them, for me back to the beginning. So I guess where were you during that set? I know you said at the
Side
beginning.
stage, right next to Del James.
Nice.
He's we just went on a trip with Del James and his wife last year. A bunch of us friends went on so I got to know him a little bit better. We went on a big yacht trip together. Like I think there was like 25 people on a boat, and so that was really fun. But he's amazing, and he pushed me up to the front there so I could watch like first row side stage. Um, it was pretty crazy. Like there's Courtney Kardashian and her little baby right behind me, and me and Charlie are watching. Yeah, and you can't wipe the smile off my face like watching watching Guns N' Roses. It's just so cool.
And it is cool. I guess as a vocalist, and I'm trying to avoid any sort of like clickbait that comes out of it. But it was like a not I want to use the word controversial, but just like a divided opinion among like fans about Axl and the way he sounds now. I'm just
You know what? I will say this. So I was on tour a couple years ago and we played a show with Guns N' Roses and they went on stage for like something crazy, like 3 hours. If someone's going to put a 3 hour show on for me, I'm not going to complain that they don't sound like they did in 1987. He puts on a great show. He's still running around everywhere. He looks great. And I don't know. I like side stage, the sound was great. I didn't hear anything amiss. Um, I Charlie knows I get really worked up when people talk shit about us.
and so do
I
I.
no,
You're the right
I get so
person.
upset because I hate that people aren't allowed to like to have a misstep sometimes or have a bad day.
Right.
I've got bad days. I was just on the road for 5 weeks with Lords of Acid singing, and I got really sick. And thank God everything came out every day, and I was able to sing every day. But every day I was worried, like, what's going to come out of my mouth? What are people going to think? It is incredibly stressful to be a vocalist, and I can't imagine how stressful it is for people to want to hear exactly what they heard, like I said, in 1987 all the time. And I think 90% of his vocals are still awesome. I think and man, if your heroes are still out there, again, putting on 3 hour shows for you, 2 hour shows for
Hmm.
you, take it and shut up.
That's been my basically. I've been saying I've been telling people to get bent, but I like take it and shut up as well. Because and he performed a 3 hour show the night before too, and to
Yeah.
do that. And you're right. I mean, that's what the Sabbath thing has really showed us, and this conversation has showed me just from whether it's a younger artist, I love what you're doing, like a new band, like I would call it a younger artist, new band, because it's the Violent
Yeah.
Hour new, or like Hailstorm, and you're looking at Black Sabbath, Slayer. I mean, it's just all this great music. Everyone's hugging it. I forgot
Yeah.
who said it. It might have been like Kelly Osbourne. It was like heavy metal summer camp. It seemed to be over there, and just watching it, just like these are all the guys I look up to and the girls I look up to. They're all friends. They all make
Yeah.
music, and this is just there's no reason to criticize any of this because it's not the X Factor, it's not American Idol.
Yeah,
So
nobody got paid. Nobody got paid to do that, you know. So,
I know I'm not going to ask you. I know some band got asked, and I'm waiting for Sharon to say who that is.
yeah, I have no idea. I mean, well, I heard who supposedly who it is, but you never know through the rumor mill. But yeah, it's like everyone went there on their own accord, paid for flights or whatever to do it, and um I don't know. I feel super lucky to just be able to see the bands that I loved. And like I said, as a vocalist myself, I'm still coughing after being on tour for 5 weeks. And I know how hard it is to be the face of a band and be the one that everyone's gonna judge every night. It's very difficult.
I really appreciate your perspective because you know what you're talking about. It's one thing is coming from a fan being like, "Leave Brittany alone, leave
Yeah.
Axl." It's another coming from you. So I appreciate your professional and expert opinion. And the Violent Hour, I love what I've heard so far. That's such an awesome tour that you're taking a part of with Buck Cherry and Michael Monroe, who just joined Guns N' Roses on stage for Bad Obsession. I
Yeah.
mean, they're all living their best life. Rock fans are
Yeah.
eating good right now.